Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I am Gio and I'm alongside Adamo for the match review of AC Milan against Empoli that just finished moments ago at the San Siro. Milan picking up the first win of the new season, 2-1 the scoreline. Goals coming in from Carlos Bacca and Luis Adriano for Milan. Saponara, the goal scorer for Empoli. And let's just say that it was a very disappointing performance from Milan. Happy with the result, but not so much with the performance. Really lackluster. Empoli all over us, especially in that first half. And up until that go-ahead goal by AC Milan, there, the goal scored by Luis Adriano, they were really putting us in difficulty. Something that we shouldn't be seeing against Empoli, especially after the fact that they conceded 3 against Cable last weekend. But really, Milan didn't show their full quality today at the San Siro, and I was very disappointed to see that. Adamo, what were your thoughts on today's match?
I mean, as you said, it was a very weird game. Milan didn't perform too well, and practically the only reason that we won were from kind of star performances from individual players and individual scenarios. So I think Milan got quite lucky to get all 3 points today. Empoli did pretty good for a side that lost quite a number of star players, at least for them, and Sadi, which was a key component to them winning so much last season. So, I think Milan got off quite easy here. In future games, when we face bigger teams like Lazio, Roma, Juventus, it's going to be much, much harder to play like this and get all 3 points. But today, what's important is that we did get all 3 points despite a poor performance, and hopefully, in the coming days that Mihajlovic kind of sorts his teams out and irons out all the wrinkles, because there's plenty of wrinkles in this squad.
Yeah, definitely, especially in that midfield. Once again, you could see the quality lacking there, and De Jong forced to be playing as a playmaker, really, but he's not a playmaker. And some people were actually arguing about the fact that De Jong slows down the game. But what do you expect from a player that is not supposed to be playing his role, actually trying to play the role? So really nonsense comments there, but I'm going to leave that aside and speak about a bit about the new signings that we made. First of all, Adamo, let's start off with Kuchka and Bertolacci. Bertolacci really having an awful game today. I mean, from the start, really couldn't get into that mood to play well, and it's been a very long game for him. Also coming off there what appears to be a shoulder injury. Not quite sure about that, but we'll see in the few days to come to see if AC Milan releases some kind of statement. And Kuchka coming on for Nocerino. Supposed to do a better job, but really anonymous on the pitch. Really didn't fill in that Nocerino role or even played better than him. For me, Kuchka and Nocerino played the same almost. But obviously, they're players that bring in that physical aspect. But what did you make of the new signings today?
I mean, overall, both of them played pretty poorly. I expect a lot more from a player like Bertolacci, not just from his price tag. His price tag is irrelevant to me, more so that last season we saw with Genoa, a weaker side than Milan, with all respect to them. He was actually quite good. He was actually fantastic. And, I just feel that a player of Bertolacci's quality should be performing much better. But, of course, it's just the beginning of the season. We're going to be seeing a lot more of these players, and hopefully they can integrate into the team well. As for Kuchka, he's a player that's, he's supposed to be that stopgap player. He's either there to fill a hole or, kind of be like a cinder block and just protect the lead. He's not usually somebody you look forward to be your quality midfielder. So hopefully that's not what he was brought in for. But, as for a player that just comes off the bench, he's not too bad, but today he was quite poor. I still expect more from him. I don't think this was the best that you'll see of Kuchka. Probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen him have. But overall, our new signings, despite the strikers, obviously Bertolacci and Kuchka, they did pretty poor today. I think they could have improved quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Carlos Bacca and Luis Adriano, good games for them. And they didn't get many chances today to really show their worth. But those are the players that you pay the big money for. You're not going to get many chances, but they're going to make them count, like we saw with Carlos Bacca today. And Luis Adriano getting a goal and an assist. Probably the man of the match for me. But another player that I really wanted to talk about was Bonaventura, because this guy came in the second half, replacing Suso as a trequartista. Was actually quite surprised to see Suso start in that role. You would expect someone like Onda to start there, even though no one had a good game last time around. But really, Bonaventura, when he came in, he showed that quality. Really made Suso look like a fool, in my opinion. He played very well. Also got an assist on Luis Adriano's goal. And he was probably the only player that was able to cross the ball today. Once again, very poor crossing for some players like, once again, Bertolacci or even Descio. Guys that I still don't know how didn't learn how to cross the ball properly, and they're playing professional for God knows how long. But beside that fact, Bonaventura was, I think, in my opinion, the game changer when he came in. Brought that vibe to the team that was very much needed. Before his introduction, the team was very dead from what I saw. And it's good to see that we do have some game changers, because we're definitely going to need those sorts of players coming into the game. What did you make of Bonaventura today coming on for Suso?
Well, I completely agree with you on every point you made, especially the crossing the ball. I don't understand how these players can be professional and have played for so many years. Yet, okay, I get that, it's harder to do than it looks, and, the pressure of other pros coming up against you. But, let's be real here. I don't think any of these players ever took any lessons on crossing. I don't think they ever speak about it in training, and I don't know why. Because especially Baca and Luis Adriano, two players that are quite physical in the box. You should probably want to learn to cross a little bit, but I guess, maybe that's in the back of Milan's mind. But anyways, it was just, I'm quite speechless on the crossing. I don't know about that. But yeah, just today, I think that Milan, with Bonaventura coming in, as you said, he added something completely different. It was like a new dimension. A lot of people were kind of, unsurprised to see him come in and kind of didn't want him to come in, which I was shocked by, because I guess people just, hold grudges on players. But either way, I think Bonaventura did very, very well today. And, my dog Sky, she's very excited about Bonaventura. I guess she's a big fan of him as well.
She agrees with it.
Yeah, exactly. But, great performance by Bonaventura, and hopefully he can continue.
Yeah, definitely. Now, of course, Milan had to get this win at all costs. The 3 points were a must coming into this game, not only because we're playing against Empoli, and of course you're always expected to win these games, but also because walking into an international break, you want to at least get a win and improve your position on the standings. Walking into the international break without any wins would have been a real disaster for Milan, and especially considering the fact that after the international break we'll be playing the Derby della Madonnina against Inter. With no wins, would have been a real mess altogether. But once again, guys, to conclude, happy with the result, disappointed with the performance. Hopefully, during this time, Milan kind of changed their ways, because the mental aspect that Mihajlovic and some players have been talking about that has improved. So far, I have not seen it, to be exact. And hopefully, the performances of last season against these small teams will not repeat themselves. But on that note, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything AC Milan on a daily basis. And this has been Gio and Adamo signing off. And as always, Forza Milan. Also last night, contacts were made between Milan and Genoa for 27-year-old winger Diego Perotti.